Well, for more, let's cross live now to Kyiv, where our correspondent Emmanuelle Chaze is standing by for us. Emmanuelle, the evacuation is already underway from the northeast. Just talk to us about what the very latest is there.
Well, indeed, Sharon, the authorities are adamant that the population in this frontline area should be evacuated. So we're talking about Kupyansk, we're talking about over 30 cities and villages just around Kupyansk. You've mentioned it. Those areas had been liberated last September by the Ukrainian armed forces, but over the past few weeks, the Russian army has assembled again, has gathered very, very near Kupyansk and the surrounding areas are being shelled daily, thus increasing the risk for the civilian population, for the population to be killed in those missile strikes, but also to be caught between the two armies as Russia is nearing the city of Kupyansk. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, the Russian army has advanced in that territory, but Kupyansk is still in Ukrainian hands, and as long as this is the case, the authorities are trying to do what they can to protect the population. And the population actually all around Ukraine is at threat of those missile strikes I was just talking about. We've seen a new attack against the city of Zaporizhia. A hotel was once again targeted. This is a hotel used by NGOs, by international institutions, by journalists, and there's even the UN representative in Ukraine who has condemned those attacks, saying that the UN was appalled at the increasing amount of attacks against civilians, against civilian infrastructures launched by the Russian armed forces.
Separately, Emmanuelle, Kyiv says it's opened maritime routes for civilian vessels from several southern ports. This as tensions have been rising on the Black Sea. Tell us what's happening there.
Yes, Kyiv has said that it would open a temporary corridor in the Black Sea for those of the civilian ships stuck in its port since the beginning of the Russian blockade in the Black Sea last year. So some of the ships there had been blocked for over a year and a half. So this temporary route has been communicated to the International Maritime Organization, but of course there's a threat remaining when sailing in the Black Sea. There's a threat of mines, but there's also a threat as Russia had said that any ship leaving or coming to Ukrainian port would be considered a potential target because it could be carrying military equipment. So we don't know yet if Kyiv had agreed with Moscow for that temporary corridor, and of course the ship that would be sailing to this corridor, where that would be at the discretion of the captains of the ship if they agree to sail in such conditions.
Emmanuelle, we will leave it there for now. That is Emmanuelle Chaze joining us live from Kyiv.